Well, we could talk about the Twilight Saga, but let's talk song. This analysis video is about Olivia Rodrigo's hit single Vampire, a song that I wish I had made a reaction video for. Because when I first heard the song, I was flabbergasted, as they say. Quite nice song that we are going to analyze today. As always, we are going to look at the three elements of what makes a great song: chords, harmony and lyrics. And if you stay till the end, there is a special surprise, and I'm going to reveal what 90s alternative song that everybody knows is actually part of the inspiration of the chord progression in Olivia Rodrigo's Vampire. So let's get going. Hate to give the satisfaction asking how you're doing now. How's the castle built of people you pretend to care about? Just what you wanted. Look at you, cool guy, you got it. I see the parties and the diamonds sometimes when I close my eyes. 6 months of torture you sold as some forbidden paradise. I love you truly. Gotta laugh at the stupidity, 'cause I made some real big mistakes, but you make the worst ones look fine. I should've known it was strange. You only come out at night. I used to think I was smart, but you made me look so naive. The way you sold me for parts, you stuck your teeth into me. Oh, bloodsucker, fame fucker, bleeding me dry like a goddamn vampire. Every girl I ever talked to told me you were bad news. You called them crazy, God I hate the way I called them crazy too. You're so convincing. How do you lie without flinching? Oh, what a mesmerizing, paralyzing, fucked up little thrill. Can't figure out just how you do it, and God knows I never will. Went for me and not her, 'cause girls your age know better. I made some real big mistakes, but you made the worst ones look fine. I should've known it was strange. You only come out at night. I used to think I was smart, but you made me look so naive. The way you sold me for parts, you stuck your teeth into me. Oh, bloodsucker, fame fucker, bleeding me dry like a goddamn vampire. You said it was true love, but wouldn't that be hard? You can't love anyone, 'cause that would mean you had a heart. I try to help you out, now I know that I can't, 'cause honey thing's the kind of thing I'll never understand. I made some real big mistakes, but you made the worst one look fine. I should've known it was strange. You only come out at night. I used to think I was smart, but you made me look so naive. The way you sold me for parts, you stuck your teeth into me. Oh, bloodsucker, fame fucker, bleeding me dry like a goddamn vampire. As always, we are going to start with a chord progression from the verse that looks like this. F for one bar, then A major, very curious, B flat, B flat minor. If you try to play along at home, I'm sorry, but I have transposed the keyboard so that I was actually able to sing anything, because otherwise that would have been a catastrophe. So I think it's transposed by, is it A fifth, I think so. I think it's transposed by a fifth, maybe by a fourth down. So when I play F major, you should be able to hear C major. I'm not really sure. This is the verse chord progression. In terms of chord stage degrees, we have 1, 3 major, really interesting, that then goes to 4 and 4 minor. Now what's special about the 3 is that actually we would expect a 3 minor in a major song. We would expect F, and if A is supposed to be the root note, we would expect A minor. Something that we don't do. A major is sometimes used as a secondary dominant to D minor, but we don't hear D minor after that. Instead, we go to 4 and then we do 4 minor, a thing that I like to do quite a bit as well. 4 minor has got a very dominant function somehow. Back to 1. The chorus introduces 2 new chords, which are those: G minor, C, and then back to things we know. F, A, B flat, B flat minor, F, A, B flat minor. So we have got a lot of elements from the verse, only that we introduce the chorus with a 2-5 chord progression, 2 minor 5, something that we also saw in Billie Eilish's What Was I Made For. G minor is the 2 minor that then goes to the dominant chord, C, and that one dominates towards the 1 back to the F. That creates a shift in the chords, and all the other chords that are after this G minor and C major just play 2 bars later. That means that suddenly when the chord progression starts again, we start with the B flat instead of with the 4, thereby keeping the same chords, adding the G minor and the C, but changing the order. The third chord progression there is after chorus number 2, when we enter a primary bridge. Thank you for writing that primary bridge, Miss Rodrigo. We have got the same chords, but new structure. B, B minor, F, and where we would expect the A, we now go to the C, to the 5 chord. So it's 4, 4 minor, 1 and 5. Almost conventional, right? Were it not for the 4 minor chord. So we have got 3 very clearly separate sections, but sharing a lot of chords. Sometimes the order is a bit messed with so that they clearly are set apart from each other. Quite nice songwriting. Next, we are going to look at the melody. Quite interesting what happens here as well. Let's look at verse melody first. Verse melody, remember that the chord playing is the F first. So what happens here is 5 and 3 of the chord in an 8th note fashion. That then goes to 3 and 1 of the A chord. And then we introduce a new motif. This is this. Look at you, cool guy, you got it. What we do here is we highlight the 3 at the top here. So here it's the major 3 that then becomes the minor 3, and we add this tail. So 2 clearly separate verse halves. Very, very fast. And then we heard this in a lot of different songs we analyzed before, that the verse sometimes consists of 2 very contrasting halves, which we can clearly see here as well. What's very fascinating in terms of melody in that song is this huge range that made it almost impossible for me to sing. The note we finish the verse with the one before the chorus, is a very low F. Remember that we had this? From that F, we go over an octave, actually a tenth, to the A, an octave above, that is the first melody note. This is quite impressive when you listen to it, and it's very, very clear that something new is going to begin. The main idea of the chorus melody is rather simple. It's this one. That's all there is. This lower note, so we have, at the beginning we have A, G, F, D, A, A, A. And that lower D changes depending on the chord we hear. So the first chord is G minor, where the D is the fifth. Everything cool here. The next chord is C major, and that D becomes a C. Next chord is an F major. We keep the C as the 5 of the F major chord. Next chord is a A major. B flat. B flat minor. And now we enter a new melody bit. That is this. So everything becomes very, very high and very dramatic at the end. It's this. The way you show me for parts, you stuck your teeth into me. Oh. And this isn't even the original pitch, so I put everything down in order to make it singable. Very, very special vocal performance by Olivia Rodrigo. She knows how to write songs and how to sing. Not bad at all. The third, totally different and interesting melody line is the one from the primary bridge that goes like this. So we see we outline the chords very much. 3, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5. And then we go there, play the 3 again. And it's always either the 3 or the 5 in the melody. Something that creates nice contrast with the 2 other melody lines, the one in the verse and the one in the chorus. Verse number 2 does something rather special. Something that I want to look at when we analyze the lyrics, which apparently is now. So let's analyze the lyrics. We are going to start with verse number 1. Hate to give the satisfaction asking how you're doing now. How's the castle built of people you pretend to care about? Just what you wanted. Look at you, cool guy, you got it. That is a lot of words. However, it's very, very clearly structured. So what we have here is 4 lines that are clearly set apart from each other. Line number 1 is, hate to give the satisfaction asking how you're doing now. This now is a rhyme word because we have an AA rhyming pattern at the beginning. How's the castle built of people you pretend to care about? What we also see is that we've got a very clear metric rhythm and the stresses are very, very much on point. Something that we don't see in every song. So it's hate to give the satisfaction asking how you're doing now. How's the castle built of people you pretend to care about? Very, very nice writing. And then the second melody phrase is just what you wanted. Look at you, cool guy, you got it. So the rhymes become looser, but still we see that those 2 lines also belong together. So we can see that it is a pretty clear AABB rhyming pattern in verse number 1. Verse number 2 is then, I see the parties and the diamonds sometimes when I close my eyes. Same metric rhythm, very beautiful stress distribution. And this will rhyme with line number 2. 6 months of torture you sold as some forbidden paradise. I think, and yes, paradise is a bit mispronounced, but never mind. I think they even wrote it with that in the middle. So I think it should be 6 months of torture that you sold as some forbidden paradise, because otherwise you wouldn't have this very clear 8th rhythm. And then while performing, while singing, I think that Olivia just chose to get rid of that for dramatic reasons, whatever. So yes, a bit mispronounced paradise, but still we can see the very, very clear pattern. And by that time we have already established it, which kind of makes it necessary to pronounce the paradise a bit off. I loved you truly, gotta laugh at the stupidity. So the ending letter is the same and the ending sound is also the same, but because the stresses are on the true and on the p of the word stupidity, we don't really have a rhyme here. What we have is words that sound a little bit alike, right? I love you truly, gotta laugh at that stupidity. Also, this rhyme is kind of stupid, so there might be a little bit of prosody involved. In the 2 verses after chorus number 1, I already announced that we were also going to look at melodic variations here. The first bit is rather conventional and normal, and every girl I ever talked to told me you were bad news. And we need those 2 bad at the end, because otherwise the metric rhythm wouldn't make sense. You called them crazy, God, I hate the way I called them crazy too. This God in the middle is only there because it makes sense in terms of stress pattern. So very, very nice introduction of those little words that make the phrase long enough. You're so convincing, how do you lie without flinching? So we are back to a rather conventional rhyme. And now it's the second half of verse number 2. Oh, what a mesmerizing, paralyzing, fucked up little thrill. My booster and favorite line of the song. Can't figure out just how you do it, and God knows I never will. Again, this God knows thing doesn't mean anything, but serves as a longevity for line number 2. Went for me and not her, 'cause girls your age know better. And also, the melodic shape is very, very free. So suddenly it's, oh, what a mesmerizing, paralyzing, fucked up little thrill. Can't figure out just how you do it, and God knows I never will. Went for me and not her, 'cause girls your age know better. So we see that in verse number 2, Olivia Rodrigo took the creative liberty to break the pattern that she had established before, and that's totally okay, because there has to be room for variation, especially in verses number 2. We all know that verses number 2 are very, very difficult to write because you've established so many things in verse number 1. If you want to find out how to write really, really great second verses, I recommend you buy the almost but not quite complete guide to songwriting by Sir Henning Pauly. I think that he has been knighted already. And humble Mr. Me. Available at spectreacademy.net. I think there is a sale sometime soon, but if you want to pay the full price, feel free and go. Link in description, by the songwriting course. Let's look at the chorus lyrics now, because I've made some real big mistakes, but you make the worst one look fine. I should have known it was strange, you only come out at night. Very, very clear structure, very clear rhyming pattern. We change from AABB to ABAB. Very great in terms of contrast between chorus and verse. Continues with, I used to think I was smart, but you made me look so naive. The way you sold me for parts as you sunk your teeth into me. 'Cause it's a vampire. Oh, bloodsucker. Careful, favorite word of the song. Fame fucker. I didn't know that word existed. Bleeding me dry like a goddamn vampire. And again, we see a very, very clear ABAB rhyming pattern. And then this last bit, that is bloodsucker, fame fucker, bleeding me dry like a goddamn vampire. Really, really great lyrics, because they are very, very clear, very, very in your face, and everybody understands it. Primary bridge, also really interesting tricks within the lyrics. You said it was true love, but wouldn't that be hard? soft D. You can't love anyone cause that would mean you had a heart. Heart T. I tried to help you out, now I know that I can't. Cause how you think's the kind of thing I'll never understand. Can't stand. Strong T, soft D, still rhymes. And hard heart. Very, very cool. Also because in the middle of the last line it says, cause how you think's the kind of thing I'll never understand. So what she does with hard, using the strong T sound, changing the meaning, and then the soft one, actually the other way around, she does with think, thing as well, because how you think's the kind of thing I'll never understand. It's those tiny little details that show us that Olivia Rodrigo is not just some random songwriter, but one of the best. I think she's only 23 or something, and I hope there are many, many decades of great music ahead of that woman, because she knows her shit. She's got a great voice. I think she knows the right people. I saw her hang out with Jacob Collier, and that is going to be something. Also, maybe Miley Cyrus won't win Best Song at the Grammys because of that one. And before the end of this video, I'm going to give a present and thank you to those who waited until the end, because now we are going to talk about a song from the 90s, an alternative rock song that everybody knows, that actually has a chord progression that I thought, and many, many people think that, can't really be repeated. One of the few chord progressions that is very signature. Pay attention to the fact that it's 2 bars for every chord. That's the big difference. 'Cause I'm a creep, I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. 1, 3 major, 4 major, 4 minor, back to 1 is the creep chord progression, something that is very, very iconic. And there is a YouTube channel, I recommend you watch it and you go and subscribe to it. It's something like How to Write Songs. I will make sure to have a link in description below. I don't remember which video that was, something with chord progressions that everybody should know, and they introduced that Radiohead creep chord progression, saying that this chord progression can actually not be copied because you would instantly recognize it. I don't think that you instantly recognized the chord progression when I started playing Vampire, and that again shows the great craftsmanship, or craftswomanship in that case, that Olivia Rodrigo is able to pull off. She takes a very special and very trademark chord progression and makes it her own. She is one of the greatest. I guess this is it. If you liked this, make sure to leave the thumbs up, to subscribe to my channel. Let's see if we can make it 700. Leave me comments in which you can say if you liked it or not, but also, and very, very important, in which you can tell me to, no, not go screw myself, but to react to songs that you would like me to sing and analyze. I'm very, very keen on audience suggestions. I think we've talked song. You can talk about the Twilight Saga now.